Teen accused of number 63 beach double murder. Father of hit-and-run victim seeks justice in the region. Flight to Jamaica redirected over corona prank. And internationally, voters in New Delhi, India demands cleaner air. Greetings and welcome to this edition of Headline News Update. I am Bibi Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. A 16-year-old faced the Georgetown Magistrates Court charged with double murder. Here is Sister Sobers with that story.
A 16-year-old is alleged to be the mastermind behind the double murder in a resort at number 63 Beach. Today, the teen appeared in the Children's Court at the Georgetown Magistrate Court, charged with murder. Owner of the Sunsplash Hotel Vikrananda Nirpati called Vika and his workman Hari Prasad were found by a friend who ventured to the hotel located near the number 63 beach. It was reported that the men's body were found in the upper flat, tied up, decomposed and dismembered. The prosecution alleges that the teen murdered the two between December 19, 2019 and December 27, 2019. The teen was not required to plead to the indictable charge. The teen was remanded to prison and is expected to appear in the 51 Magistrate Court on February 12, 2020. For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. The Guyana Gold Board on Monday opened an office at the Port Kaituma Region 1 in response to requests from small miners for its services in that area. This is the third office opened by the GGB in keeping with a commitment to make its services more accessible to small miners in remote areas of Guyana. The new office shares the same building as the Guyana Bank for Trade and Industry at Turn Basin, Port Kaituma. It will provide similar services to those offered in Georgetown, including testing and buying gold. Since Port Kaituma is a hub for small miners in Region 1, the office will serve as a central access point in that region. Other than Port Kaituma, the GGB has offices in Georgetown and Bartica, as well as through mobile offices in selected locations. The father of a hit-and-run victim in Herstellan is accusing police of slaughter regarding his son's death. Esther Sobers has more in this story.
I know if the parents for the boy who knocked on my son, they pay the police or whatsoever, because nobody ain't coming and telling me nothing. And when I go to the station, they tell me they're investigating, they got to wait for get all the evidence and then they go send it to the DPP. So I know what.
It has been over 2 weeks since 27-year-old Ryan Herman was struck and killed by a motor car. However, his family has yet to receive justice as the grieving father expressed his disappointment in the police force's inability to complete their investigation and charge the 21-year-old driver allegedly responsible for his son's death.
Well, I went to the station, the police tell me they're investigating the matter, and they said after 72 hours, they had to put him on bail, right? And they're waiting for investigators to get more evidence. And over 2 weeks now, no, I ain't hearing nothing. They ain't telling me nothing. We went to the station. We asked like somebody dragging their foot upon this mountain. They said nobody ain't dragging their foot. They got seven to get the evidence. They got send it to the DPP. So I really know what's going on. I need justice for my son.
According to reports on the 20th of January 2020, Herman of Herstellan eastbound Janarara was involved in the fatal accident in the wee hours of the morning. He was standing along the Eccles Public Road eastbound Janarara and attempted to cross the main roadway. However, an approaching vehicle did not stop in time to avoid hitting him. It was also alleged that the 21-year-old was over the legal limit of alcohol at the time of the accident. The elder Herman also noted that the driver's family is seeking to compensate him for his son's death.
Well, the father and the mother for the boy who committed the accident come to me. They said they want to settle and they tell me about $800,000 to me. I tell her no. I said that is funeral expense.
Headline News contacted a source within the Guyana Police Force, and we were informed that the police are seeking video evidence before they can complete their investigations. Nonetheless, Headline News will continue to follow and update this story as more details arrive. For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. Police are investigating the murder of a 28-year-old minor, Raymond Leach. of Lot 20, 22 Amelia's Ward, Linden. He was reportedly shot in the chest by his friend, a 34-year-old resident of Haslington East Coast, Demerara, at about 12:30 on Monday at Quarterstone Back Dam, Cayuny River. The suspect, who is reportedly a licensed armed security guard, is alleged to have shot Leach during an argument over a card game. The suspect had since been arrested and is cooperating with investigators. Coming up after the break, your regional and international news.
I remember the place. The shack was dirty. Cockroaches was everywhere. 10 we was in one room. When people in charge, they give me a piece of land. And we build a house on it. And it's safe. And it's very comfortable. And here I watch my children develop and grow. I need action, man. Strong leadership that give out land and have love. Build homes and create jobs. And bring down the cost of living that children can grow. PPP, deliver for my family. That's why I put in my X next to the cup.
The voting process. Once you have been identified as the elector you claim to be, you would be given a ballot paper that is stamped at the back, top and bottom halves in your presence. On the ballot paper, provision is made for you to vote twice. Once at the top section where you vote for the party of your choice in the general election, and once at the bottom section where you vote for the party of your choice in the regional election. Make your mark in the box provided on the right of your choice. After you have voted, fold the ballot paper as shown by the election official. Dip the first joint of your right index finger in the ink provided and place the ballot paper in the ballot box that is there for this purpose. You would then have to peacefully depart the polling station. For more information, contact GCOM on 225-027729, 223-9653, email pro@gcom.org.gy, or visit GCOM's website at www.gcom.org.gy.
Change means for us technology, innovation.
Change means to getting jobs so youngsters have to leave in school.
Change means advancing Guyana and making her a truly independent reality and creating betterment for all Guyanese.
Change means a new life.
Change means happiness.
This is really hot. What's wrong with your AC?
It's not working.
Well, we wouldn't be able to continue this meeting anymore because this place is extremely hot.
Wait, please don't go.
Here's a company you can call to get your AC fixed. Action Cool.
Honey, what's dinner? I had a hard day.
I'm sorry you had a hard day, but guess what, babes? I didn't cook today because the stove is not working.
Having trouble at home or at the office? Then call the professionals at Action Cool. Our fully trained technical team have the skills and experience in repairs of all air-conditioned units, refrigerators, gas stoves, washing machines, and a whole lot more. For further information, visit us at 86 Hill and Princess Street, Mandela Avenue, Georgetown, or call us on telephone number 225-7867.
Voting without an identification card. If you are registered and eligible to vote but do not have your identification card with you on election day, for whatever reason, you can still vote. The Guyana Elections Commission has put measures in place to accurately identify voters without an identification card. When you go to the polling station, you would be asked your name and address and referred to the presiding officer who will interview you. The presiding officer would look at your face and compare with the photograph alongside the name on the folio to confirm that name. If the presiding officer satisfied that you are the person you claim to be, you would be asked to take the oath of identity or affirmation. You would then be allowed to vote. For more information, contact GCOM on 225-0277-9, 223-9653, email pro@gcom.org.gy, or visit GCOM's website at www.gcom.org.gy.
For years, my community had no communication to the rest of the country. Now, we got internet hub, Wi-Fi, and a radio station. Now my children could do their homework on the internet.
Fact. 175 internet hubs, 170 schools given internet access, and 7 hinterland radio stations since 2015. On March 2nd, vote APNU AFC, and let's continue moving forward together.
Welcome back. In the region, a WestJet flight destined for Montego Bay was diverted back to Toronto on Monday after a male passenger falsely claimed to have contracted the coronavirus during a recent trip to China. The 29-year-old man, who is a resident of Ontario, has since been charged with mischief, according to Canadian media reports. The plane, which departed Toronto around 10 a.m. en route to Montego Bay, the man told the crew and 243 passengers that he had been infected with the deadly virus. Flight attendants gave the man a mask and gloves and ordered him to move to the back of the plane. As a consequence of the situation, the pilot returned the flight to Toronto's Pearson International Airport, where the suspect, who police believe was playing a prank, was arrested. WestJet subsequently apologized to its passengers, reassuring that the plane crew followed all the protocols for infectious diseases on board, and the man did not have the coronavirus. The accused, whose name has not been released, will reportedly appear in court in Canada on March 9th. And internationally, as the Philippines grapples with its first death in the country from coronavirus, some in the Chinese Filipino community says they fear they are being discriminated against. Al Jazeera's Barnaby Lowe reports.
Empty streets, empty shops, and empty restaurants. This is Manila's Chinatown, bustling on almost any day of the year. But recent days have been anything but normal. Fear has gripped the city's Chinese community as the coronavirus outbreak continues to spread. The community itself has now become a target of discrimination. On Facebook, photos of Chinese businessmen distributing face masks were met with offensive comments. This one reads, "You can keep those face masks. Go home to China." One university was criticized for a memo requiring isolation for all its Chinese students, regardless of travel history. A number of Chinese schools, however, took it a step further by suspending classes altogether for 2 weeks.
The feeling of the community is that we have exposure to those who are coming from China. No? And I think xenophobia in this case is not only coming from the Filipino community, it's also coming from the Filipino-Chinese community who are not treating the mainland people the same.
And it's not just in the Philippines. Elsewhere in Asia, there are examples on social media of growing hostility against those with Chinese ethnicity. Leaders of the Chinese Filipino community, however, say the issue of racism has been blown out of proportion.
They're not discriminating the Chinese, but what they are discriminating is the coronavirus now. If you tell them that, oh, these Filipinos came from Wuhan and he's coughing, even if he's Filipino, so would you take him?
Community leaders and health department officials have nonetheless come together to address the allegations of racism and to find ways to help each other in preventing the further spread of the virus. As recently as last week, hundreds of tourists from China and even Wuhan, the epicenter of the novel coronavirus outbreak, were being allowed into the Philippines. That seems to have fed into the alarm we're seeing now, and to some extent, what many are saying is xenophobia. The government has also barred entry of foreigners with recent travel history to China and its autonomous regions. But with the country having been the first to record a death outside China, some worry the move may be too late. Barnaby Lowe, Al Jazeera, Manila.
And finally, it is one of the world's most polluted cities. And as the people of New Delhi prepare to vote in the local elections this week, many are demanding action to improve air quality in the Indian capital. Al Jazeera's Elizabeth Puranam reports.
Jainab Hamid lives in one of the poorest neighbourhoods of the Delhi region. It's also one of the most polluted. The tiny home she shares with 6 other members of her family backs on to the second biggest dumping ground in the city. Toxic air from the dump is just one of the hazards that the 40,000 residents of Balaswa have to live with.
The doctor says that besides my lungs, my kidneys are also affected now. He told me to stop going to the landfill, that you are not going to live for very long. But I said if I stop going to the landfill, who's going to feed my children?
Jainab and others in Balaswa make a living by sorting and separating waste. They held a town hall meeting ahead of elections to ask politicians what they are doing about the environment. The candidate of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Bharatiya Janata Party told us that was not their priority.
No. We don't treat this as one of our election agenda. Our main election agenda, as set by our Honorable Prime Minister, is to legalize these unauthorized colonies of Delhi.
But it's not just people who live in the Delhi region's illegal slums who are affected. New Delhi's air quality sees it consistently ranked as one of the most polluted cities in the world. In this neighbourhood, people are not waiting for others to tackle the problem. The Traders Association in this market have installed a 7-metre high tower. It's fitted with air filters that clean the air of pollutants as it passes through them. But environmentalists say such towers only create a clean air zone around them and are not a solution for the whole city. The tower was put up after air pollution levels reached 40 times higher than the amount deemed healthy by the World Health Organization late last year.
Air pollution in Delhi is basically resulting in a public health crisis. It's not just a pollution problem anymore, it's also a public health problem.
A problem politicians say they'll address by improving public transport and planting more trees. But Jainab Hamid doubts whoever wins the election will do anything to improve the lives of the people of Balaswa. Elizabeth Puranam, Al Jazeera, New Delhi.
Here now is your 3-day weather forecast. And that is all for this edition of Channel 2 Headline News Update. Tune in on Wednesday at 7 p.m. for another episode. Be sure to subscribe, like and follow us on Facebook and YouTube, or you can visit our website at headlinenewsguyana.com for more news. Until then, take care.